Bazinga! I'll explain it.
Goodness gracious. Well.
Well, look what we have here. Me and you. We come here often. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. And by the show, I mean Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. I'm so happy to be here with you guys again. So, obviously, we're still working through some kinks, some quirks, some hiccups, and everything in between. But nonetheless, I still think the best of this silly little podcast machine. I somehow have forgotten the podcast intro 2 weeks in a row, so I had to replay one from a different episode. And that's not lazy. That's resourceful, okay? Because I have lots of excitement and enthusiasm. Then why not share? Why not recycle such passion for you guys again today? But I'm happy to be here. And, man, it's the season to be alive, dude. Look at this, man. I'm rocking some nice, sweet, cold, full attire, as if it wasn't already warm here. But I'm wearing it, okay? I gotta cover up the arms a little bit. I've been getting some pretty disturbing comments. People are constantly harassing me, saying, Tristan, your shoulders, your biceps, they're too huge. And I want to focus on the show itself and not objectify my sweet bod. I'm kidding. I feel festive. I feel the autumn mood, and I want to embrace it as such. Although we were getting some nice comments, and I don't find them disturbing whatsoever, so feel free to objectify any way that you see fit. I welcome it all the time. So that brings me to my next point, champs, okay? And that's what I'm going to call you guys from now on, champs, because who doesn't like a little fatherly term of endearment, all right? Not a lot of people get called champ these days, all right? I've been called champ one time in my entire life, and let me tell you, it meant the most to me, and I cherish it. You know who you are. Thank you. So, anyways, I'm suffering a little bit because it is warm, and I'm going to wear this nice fall attire, but that's because we have to appreciate the seasons when we have the time to appreciate it. It's the season of appreciation, nevertheless. But, you know, I know it's very easy to get caught up in seasons and holidays, and you go, what the heck? It's October already? By the way, welcome to October. But, you know, you get so caught up, like, I can't believe Christmas is over here. I can't believe Thanksgiving. I can't believe this and that. And you're like, whoa. Pump the brakes, man. And I know that's very easy to do because of stress and bills and taxes and whatever else that just kind of, you know, consumes you. And I'm out here to remind you to consume it, okay? It's time for you to consume life. Don't get so sidetracked that you're not paying attention. I want you to stare into the microwave of life and watch every single second tick by, because that's what it's all about. We have to consume the minutes because it eats time if you don't. Boom! That either made sense or it doesn't make change. Whoa. And sense. Oh my gosh, that's an elbow drop off the top tightrope because of the circus. Guys, I'm happy to be here with you. I'm having a great time and slowly figuring things out because we have dreams. We have ambitions, okay? I have a dream. It's been said before, but this time, not only do I want to dream, I want to make real. So I'm very happy to be here. The biggest change, I'd say, in this whole thing coming together is now that I can hear myself in the headphones, okay? That's the biggest point. You think I made a podcast because I'm worried about other people listening to it? No! You do 180 episodes because I like the sound of my own voice. So why wouldn't I want to hear it? Okay, if I'm going to put it out there, surely I must enjoy it, and I do. So not being able to hear that throws this whole thing out of whack. But now, yes, baby, when I can hear myself, things are better. Things are at peace. I'm at peace, and we are going to steamroll ahead. So slowly dialing some things and slowly figuring out. We bought some new equipment. We bought some new cords. We bought some new. It's all a lot of mumbo jumbo. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me be honest. All right, I grew up in carpentry and then somehow convinced my father that I was talented enough to become an actor. And then I just lucked into that. Okay, but this production, technical difficulties, it's not my forte. I don't know what I'm doing. This, oh my gosh, dude. It's foul. All right, I'm throwing caution at the wind and hoping that wind has the hands to catch it. And we just don't know what's going to happen most of the time, but that's why it's called Full Circus and not Full Expectations. So I'm super happy. And yeah, I didn't do another test again. Okay, now haters will say that's inappropriate. Haters will say that's unprofessional. Haters are right. Haters are me. I'm saying it's very inappropriate and unprofessional of me to not take the time to work some things out. But I tried, okay? I'm slowly diagnosing and slowly doing them, but I'm doing them on the fly, okay? Because why not? Practice makes perfect. And do we want perfect? Yes, we would. But I didn't do that, okay? So I'm just trying to make excuses, and I'm gaslighting you into thinking what I'm doing is right, okay? Because we don't go left. So that's basically what's going on, man. I am wearing, this is my favorite shirt, by the way, okay? I feared when I got this sweet new Navy wall that I wouldn't be able to wear my Navy shirt anymore because I just didn't know how the contrast was going to work and if it could just not be done. All right, it's just my absolute favorite. And if you've ever seen me in this shirt out in the wild, just know it was a very special occasion because I only busted out when absolutely necessary. But I was scared I couldn't wear it here on the podcast anymore. And I don't know how it's going to look. Maybe I blend right into the wall. I think the jacket helps break it up a little bit. Oh, yeah, that does. Okay, if you don't wear a jacket, if you don't wear a layer, we're kind of screwed. But, hey, that's fun. It's fun for me, and hopefully it's fun for you guys. So, what's going on now? We got a little bit more under our belt now that I didn't spend the whole week trying to do some stuff. Again, inappropriate of me. But instead of fiddling with settings and being professional, I decided to be unprofessional and go collect life. I collected life for you guys, for me, because we both like the sound of our own voice. Okay, that's what we have in common. We're both here for me, and that's why I love you, because you love me. And that's not egotistical. That's narcissistic. So, what happened, man? I just shaved, dude. Okay, I was back at the house, and I was in the middle of shaving, okay, and my dad was selling some sort of this big, like, backyard, one of those giant heaters that they put in restaurants that kind of like warm the patio. Like, it's powerful and it's nice, okay? I don't know how to use it though, but he was selling it, and then he was away, okay? And he was like, hey, can you go and take care of the guy? The guy's supposed to be here in a second. And I was like, oh yeah, for sure. Forgot all about it. I'm mid-shave now. Knock on the door. Bang, bang, bang. Uh-oh. Dude's here. Okay? Now, there's no one available to take up this task but me. And I forget, in the rush, I'm throwing my shirt back on, and I rush out there, and I go to make the sale and make sure we can get rid of this silly little thing. Now, 2 issues with this. One, again, I didn't know how to work it. So he's like, okay, you just show me how it works. And I go, of course, man. Why wouldn't I? And I'm turning the dial, and I'm like, I think I'm about to freaking break. It's fairly simple in concept, but if you don't know how to do something, okay, I don't want to strong arm it, because that's kind of my solution to everything, is just to do it on the fly and just crank it as hard as I can until it either works or breaks. But I didn't want to do that with something that's, one, not mine, and two, in the middle of a sales pitch. So anyways, you come here, step right to the right, protect the dial, crank it up to 111, then press the ignition. The light it's beautiful. And I start cranking it the wrong way. You think it works like a stove, just doesn't. I don't know if it was backwards or upside down. He claimed it was as well, and he couldn't figure it out. So now both of us in the driveway like two idiots, and he was looking at me like I was dumber than him, even though he couldn't figure out as well. So we're both cranking this thing, just hitting buttons and hoping. And I'm checking the propane. Everything's on. Okay, I've checked all the things. And eventually, I don't know what the solution was, honestly. I just lucked into getting it on. And then he takes it on his way, and he's still looking at me like I'm silly and I'm stupid. Like, I was like, dude, you couldn't figure it out either, Like, both of us don't know how it works. And honestly, you shouldn't be buying things that you don't know, okay? It's not mine. So I'm kind of worried by that, but I'm trying to lay on, some small talk and some jokes and whatnot. And then we make the sale kits when we go home, right? I walk back inside, and I forgot that I was in the middle of shaving, okay? I had the worst, just clean face, beard over here, half a mustache. It's under the chin, somewhat sweeping. And the way that I shave is not a linear path. Let me just move right. I'm like, yeah, there's a streak, there's a streak, there's a streak. So it looked like I just got in a fight with Edward Scissorhands, and it wasn't pretty whatsoever. So now I know why he was like, yeah, let's figure. Oh my gosh, I forgot. This guy's insane. No wonder you can't figure it out. I'm here to make the sale. He's like, oh golly. So that's what happened. It was very embarrassing, but I was fond of it. When I walked back inside, I laughed so hard, and I thought about just not even shaving. Maybe it was my new look, because why not? The world had already seen me. Why not embrace it? But it was inconvenient. It was emotionally for me. I couldn't look at myself long in the mirror like that. And as much as this is an audio podcast, it's important, okay, to be handsome and to be dashing because, like I said, we do appreciate a good objectifying comment. So anyways, guys, that's what happened just today. And there was a big flower festival that we just had, actually just right down the road. And what was really cool about it was that it got rained out. That wasn't cool. I was actually quite upset about it. What was cool about it is just I like the energy, man. I like, when these people come around and there's hundreds of these little pop-up tents and people are selling little trinkets and scarves and woodwork and, just homemade items and candles. And, they're being artistic and they're kind of spreading their creative wings a little bit. And I like that you walk by each single one of these things, and it's just, hey, that's just one. Okay, it's 3 feet, and I'm passing. It's gone. But I love there's an energy you feel when things matter to other people. You know what I mean? And you know that this was a big day for them. They have that circled on the calendar. They go, oh my gosh, I can't wait till September, October, whatever. Because people are going to go, I'm have a chance to put myself on the map. I'm going to have foot traffic. Okay, people are going to be seeing it. Maybe I could buy one. Maybe to pay the electrify, right? So it's really cool to feel that because you know how passionate people are about these little pop-up tents that you might just walk by. You're not going to buy a thing. Okay, most people, they don't. And you just walk on right by. But I love that energy. It feels so good. So it actually sucked that it was rained out. And also, I had another... I don't know if this was embarrassing for me or for the other people, but because I live right by this festival, we have a wheelchair, okay, at this shop. And why, it doesn't matter, okay, but there's a wheelchair. And if there's anything with wheels, rest assured I'm going to play in it. If there's fun to be had, I will find it and I will have it, okay? So I find a wheelchair and I'm doing tricks in it because why not? Worst case scenario, if I ever become handicapped, God, knock on wood, right? I need to be, swagging, okay? I need to make sure that I'm still pulling some good stuff out. So I'm doing tricks in the wheelchair and I'm doing wheelies and I'm bouncing and I feel cool, okay? And I think maybe, just maybe, I don't want to be handicapped, but maybe if it ever happens, I'll still get by. But I decide to wheel myself down the sidewalk towards this festival. And you forget about things because you're sitting in a wheelchair doing tricks for so long that you're not handicapped. And all of a sudden people are, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And they're like moving out of my way and being courteous to my space and who I am. And they're kind of helping me. Oh, no, you got it. And they're waiting for me to cross the street in the crosswalk. I took it a good distance, by the way. And it baffled me a little bit because people usually aren't, so courteous or so polite. Manners are hard to come by in this day and age, let me tell you. But I was like, what's going on? Why is it because I didn't cover up my arms today? It was like, well, what a stud. But it was because I was in a wheelchair, and I realized that, and I could no longer get out of the wheelchair because now people were looking at me like I needed it. Okay, which was also disrespectful because my legs were showing. They'd be like, well, yeah, his legs weren't strong enough. Clearly, I was like, hey! All right? I got it. But I didn't. It's not what I did at all. I kept pretending because I didn't know what to do. So I kept wheeling through this freaking festival like I was in a wheelchair, which I was, but I didn't need to be. So it was very funny, and I just kind of embraced it. Fine, I'm going to be handicapped for a day, whatever. Let me experience it. Maybe I'll gain a new perspective, whatever. But also, I was doing tricks, so at the very least, I was giving out a good name. I wasn't impersonating, a handicapped folk for my own gain. I was giving more street cred to anyone else in a wheelchair. Okay, so next time you roll out in a wheelchair to any sort of festival, people will be looking at you like, oh my gosh, I bet he can do tricks because I saw another guy out by a festival busting out 360s. So I put a good word in, and I can't get out of this chair. And this is my plan. I'm just going to wheel back. But I get stuck. I get stuck in a freaking crack, man, okay? Now, they don't tell you about this when you take a wheelchair out, okay? But sometimes you can get stuck. And I can't, my wheel falls right into this groove. I can't do anything. And all the way, okay, people should have been being more courteous. Not a push, no nothing. I don't know if they're like, hey, I don't want to, make you feel like you can't do it. So I didn't know what to do. But instead, without even thinking, I get up, dude. I just freaking stand up, and I look around, and everyone's like, what's going hey. And luckily I didn't, I don't know if you get a discount or anything in a wheelchair, but I didn't take advantage of it if there was. But everybody was turning necks. Everybody was, and it's so maybe it was embarrassing for me because everyone looked at me like I was a crook, like I had been, taking money or something. I don't know what. I was just, I was putting out a good word. I thought I was doing good by the world, but everyone looked at me like I was just a horrible, horrible person. It almost as embarrassing as when I had the weirdest facial hair of all time, and I just kind of panicked, and I picked up the chair. I didn't even just, get back in and just push it home. I picked up the chair and carried it home, okay? Because, I don't know what to do, guys. I'm out of here. It sucks, again, because it's right out my front door. That everybody's like, hey, I know where you live. I know where he's at. Get him. So it was embarrassing but funny nevertheless. I did see there was also, as bad as I thought I had it being in a wheelchair here, I saw a kid on a leash, man. And I don't know how, I've seen it before, but it's a rare occurrence, and usually it's on Halloween. It's kind of wild, dude. And I don't want to, look, I think the general rule is don't step on anyone's parenting ever. Okay, this is how I parent my child. This is how I'm going to do it, and you don't tell me what to do because who knows? Okay, but that being said, I don't think you should put a leash on your kid. All right, I think it's humiliating for one, and also it's kind of like, if you can't control it already, what makes you think you can do it on a leash? Because here's my thought as well. This kid was almost rabid, honestly. And the thing about the leash is the mom wasn't even looking at the kid because there's this idea, well, I got him chained, I got him, that she doesn't even pay attention. And by the way, adults are kidnappers, okay, if they want to, look, a thing, let me just unsnap and I'm gone, okay? It's an easy fix. So if anything, having this little tether makes you think you're more secure and you've got your child with you. You don't. You're paying way less attention. I never saw this lady turn around and look at her kid, and I was following them in a wheelchair for a good 130 feet, and I was baffled, man. So I don't know. Who let the kids out? Who? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty rough. My parents had 4 kids to deal with. And never were we on a leash. We should have been, admittedly, because there are some kids I think that deserve to be on a leash. In all fairness, I didn't get to know the kid, but the parenting style of never looking at your kid when there's hundreds of people around, and I feel like there's just some sort. It's kind of like when you're playing football, and people go, "What's harder, football or rugby?" Like rugby, we got no pads, so it's a lot harder. But there's a blatant disregard for your life that the pads create an illusion of. Okay, people are running 25 mile an hour just about and spearing each other. They don't do that in rugby. Okay, people just about die and have died on a football field. I think it's way more violent, and I think there's some sort of illusion with the tether that you go, I don't have to pay attention because I got this. Lo and behold, you turn around and it's just like chained to a light post or something. You have no idea, and she was not looking at all. But I don't know. Maybe the kid needed it. I shouldn't speak again. It's their parenting style. Hopefully, I don't know. But what happens when you set them off? Eventually, there has to be a day where you just go, fly, and you just say, be free, be everything that you're meant to be. And he just, runs into traffic? He doesn't know. He doesn't know how to be free. Have you ever set your dog free when you get to a park and you finally go? He's going to become a maniac. He's going to be attacking other dogs, and I don't know what's going to happen, but please keep tabs on. And by the way, if you put your kid on a leash, feel free to write into the show and let me know how that goes, if you think it is what's best for them or if it's because you want to make sure you can, give the ice cream stand your full attention, which, by the way, dude, the ice cream stand was phenomenal. I'm not typically a bold flavor guy, okay? I'm a creature of habit, product of the moment and routine, and I know that I love chocolate. It never fails. It's comfortable. It's safe. But sometimes, just so every freaking often, I decide to step out of this little bubble, and I try something like Marshmallow Sky, and then I have an allergic reaction and almost die. So I've been back on the chocolate gang. But I'm passing this thing, and I'm feeling the vibes, okay? Now I've already impersonated a wheelchair. I've seen a kid on a leash. the day's already been crazy, so why not take one extra leap? And I'm going to try. They had pumpkin custard. Ooh, I don't even know what pumpkin tastes like. Okay, I don't have pumpkin coffee latte or I guess I have pumpkin pie. But that doesn't taste like pumpkin, or so I thought. But I tell him, give me a double scoop. And he says, we're not doing that. I say, all right, just one scoop. And so I get the one scoop of pumpkin custard ice cream. And I tell you what, dude, I only got it just to say that I did. And I loved it. It was amazing. It was like freaking eating a candle, man, which sounds awful. And it probably would be. But it was like, actually, I don't know how, like, the experience was awesome. The flavor, I don't know if it was awesome, but there was like, if you're smelling something really good and whatever you're eating doesn't matter. So I don't know if it actually tastes good now that I'm looking back at it. But I was like, when I was eating, I said, this smells so good, which is not actually a glowing review of eating something. Someone gives you something, oh my gosh, this smells so great. And you're like, all right, well, it is food, so how's it taste? It's not a freaking Febreze can. How's it smell? So I was very stoked on the experience, though. I even thanked the guy who gave me it. He's like, I just work here. So it was, or maybe he was just dismissive of me because I impersonated a wheelchair guy for so long. But you know what? That's on me. It's something I got to live with, and I am. And to be fair, I think I'm living quite well. Guys, dude, oh my gosh. So here's the deal. I was talking to somebody recently, and not just somebody. Okay, they a hair stylist, hair salon, whatever you call it. Okay, and they asked if I put any product in my hair, and I said, yeah, of course I put pomade. Okay, I'm a swagged out. I said yes. Actually, I didn't do any of that. But they said don't put it in your hair if your hair is wet because it just kind of slides and slips right off. And I said, fair enough. I guess that's a good point. But you want me to put it in my hair when it's dry? And she said, yes, absolutely. I think that's what you should do. And I said, okay. And I just tried it now, dude. And it sucks, man. Dude, it feels and kind of looks exactly the same. Okay. Except a little bit worse. Except for it's like I've put glue in my hair. All right. It's not comfortable whatsoever. And when it falls on my forehead, now my face feels sticky. I feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to have a word with this person, okay? Because not only was she wrong, but she steered me astray, and that is not okay. I don't accept lying unless you're doing tricks in a wheelchair, and that, okay? And I know that sounds like an exception to the rule, and it is because I'm me. And when you hold the microphone, there are certain rules, okay? There are certain favors, there are certain liberties you gain when holding it. By the way, this isn't so bad. I was kind of crapping on the whole holding the microphone thing on the last episode, but I think that's just because I couldn't hear myself. And upon hearing myself through it, it sounds pretty good. And two, it's fun, and I can kind of and have a little fun. So I don't have many more notes upon that. I did write one down in the middle of the night last night. I woke up, okay, like I was half asleep. It was like 9 a.m. And I was like, what time is it? And then I wrote down a funny idea that I had. And again, I wrote just 2 words that I think was supposed to mean something. It just says, new accent, ? I don't know if in my sleep I had a new brilliant way of speaking. I suck, so everything's pretty cool. But even that, like, no matter what I try to replicate, it was Sandy, you're right. You're the one that I wow. I have no idea what it means, and I'm pissed, man. And I have nobody to be upset at except for myself, and I have no way of, like, beating myself up when I see myself doing it, because I'm like, he'll know what it means, but I don't, and I don't know, guys. So if you know what new accent means, or if you guys have any new accents, feel free to let me know. I've been racking my brain over that one. It's not as mysterious as Aunt Gay, because that opened up a whole other door of what? But new accent, I'm more like, as just creatively, I'm like, this, okay, maybe there was something there. He was baffled. By the way, I had a dream last night of somebody saying that Thanksgiving was their favorite holiday, and I woke up angry. Isn't that what? So I was like, hey, what's your favorite holiday? And they went, Thanksgiving? I went, no, it's not. And not because I was like, oh, it's, colonizer or any sort of brutal history. I was just like, it's just the worst one. Okay, there's so many better holidays to pick, and I woke up mad, especially because it's sandwiched between Halloween and Christmas. I went, why? And I woke up and I went, I was still upset, and I almost like when you wanted to go back to sleep so you can get back into a dream. I was doing that just so I could, argue with some more valid points. I didn't, though, and they got the best of me. So if anybody's favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, hey, grow up. No, you can have Thanksgiving as your favorite holiday, but as long as you don't mean it. So anyways, guys, oh, man, it's good to be back, dude. It's good to be chilling. It's good to be having – is this thing still going? It just feels good to, take some leaps and sometimes land on your feet or foot. Sometimes we haven't completely landed. We're not going to stick the dismount, and we'll get back to that. Dude, I have to say something, okay? And I don't know how. Abrupt cut! So it turns out there's still some more issues to iron out, and I'm sorry. I don't know. I'll get back to whatever disastrous story I was going to get into. Here, I'll hold the mic so it feels more familiar. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Full Circus. I love you so much for hanging in. We're still figuring some things out, obviously, because I'm filming this on my phone, but we'll get there. I'll see you. I love you. Peace!